This is the Himiway motor, and it has two weaknesses. Here, the harness can get damaged, so you have to be very, very careful. If you drop your bike or something happens to these wires, then you're screwed. Also inside, there's some hall sensors over here, which I'm going to replace one today. One of these sensors, there's 1, 2, 3, and then there's a fourth one over here. One of these is broken. This is the inside of the Himiway controller. The Himiway controller is designed to work only with hall sensors, not without hall sensors. Because it doesn't work with hall sensors, if one of the hall sensors goes bad, then you are going to lose your motor basically. Even though the motor is still functional, you're not going to be able to use it because the controller just doesn't see it. As you can see, I went to an aftermarket controller, so I completely obliterated this one. I went for a much more powerful controller that also has no hall sensor, so it can run the motor either or. So I'm not left in a forest with a hall sensor that is burned out. Sooner or later, you'll have this problem, so it's good to know how to fix it, because once you're out of warranty, you're out of luck. It's $300 for a motor. Also, we'll have to test the motor first with one of these testers. This is going to tell us which of the sensors is broken. And what these things do, they read the fields when the motor spins. And then you could find out which one broke by buying one of these $10, $15 things from Amazon. I'm going to put a link at the bottom of the video. So this is a tester. It has a motor and it has a controller test. So we are in motor test right now. You see there's 3 lines over here. These are the hall sensors. So these have to go into a certain order. And when you spin the motor, the sensors supposed to change. You see how it changes every time? That's the problem with this motor, is that the green is dead. So the diagnostic tool, we know that the green wire is the one that is not working because the green light was not turning on. So how do you trace that? So I lifted this board up, I looked under, and I could see the green wire is this 3rd pin over here. And then you have to test it out against all the other pins for the hall sensors. I put the voltmeter in beep mode, audio. So 3rd one. You hear? So I verify all 3 of them, and only that one makes a beep. So that means that the green one is the middle one. So this is the one that is broken, and this is the one that needs to be replaced, it sounds like. One more thing that I'm going to verify, make sure that I have continuity on the cable itself. So I'm going to take the cable and then I'm going to verify it over here. And I do have continuity. So it's not a harness. So it's not the cable in the harness, it's this hall sensor that needs to be replaced. So we're going to take this one out and put another one in today. So these things are directional, so the way that you take it out, you have to put it back in. We'll see if we could get them out this way. If it doesn't come out, the piece is never going to come out from there. So with the old sensor out, we could put a new sensor in. Now we have to put the sensor in the same height, because it has to fit into a slot over there in the motor. This is where the good soldering gun works really well. Very, very fine tip. We're gonna run a test on it, but first I gotta cut these off. So a pair of snippers, just cut these off and make sure you don't fall in the motor when you do that. And here's what we have right now. So you see the motor over here when I'm spinning it, you see how those 3 lights go in order? Right over there. So see these 2, and this 2, and this 2, and so every time I spin. So it was a bad hall sensors. Right now all I have to do is just put the motor together and we're good to go. And here it is. One of the things that I've done is I've zip tied everything together. Originally the rope that they put in literally melted. So I don't know if this is more resistant to the zip ties than the rope. I really can't tell. I can't put wires in there because wires will not hold, but these zip ties are fairly strong and they're like flexible, so I'm hoping it's going to keep the board where it needs to be. I'm going to reassemble the bike, and I have a secondary motor for when the one that I have on the bike right now is going to crap out, which is going to be sometimes, because this is the 3rd time I'm repairing it. So yeah, if you use it hard, it will cause problems.